Good afternoon on what is a mild, grey and slightly damp day. It is Saturday the 8th of November. I'm in the reading nook with a nice hot cup of tea. And a box to continue unboxing. And what I've got here is a copy of More Weight, published by Top Shelf, and it's written and drawn by Ben Wiki. So, this has basically festooned with recommendations from other authors. Straight away, there is one there from Alan Moore, who needs no introduction, and you've got more on the back cover blurbs. So, every word is an accusation, and every whisper kills. So the actual details of the book itself is on the inside flyleaf. So, in Salem, Massachusetts, 1692 is a year of terror. When accusations of witchcraft plunged the community into paranoia and death, curmudgeonly farmer Charles Corey and his great-souled wife Martha are forced to confront their troubled past, fighting to hold on to their principles, even at the cost of their lives. In the 1860s, famed writers Nathaniel Hawthorne and Henry Wadsworth Longfellow stroll the streets of Salem together, reflecting on their own dark connections to those wicked days. Today, graphic novelist Ben Wiki wrestles with the complex legacy of the Witch City and what it shows us about the best and worst of humanity. Based on true events set in 3 centuries and hand-drawn over a decade, More Weight, it's a stunning visual symphony and a unique and profound inquiry into the infamous Salem witch trials and the long shadows they still cast on us all. So, Salem witch trials, 1692, very well known if you're an American. They are part of your cultural background and history, both colonial history and American history. Outside of the United States, less well known, but probably, if known about via Arthur Miller's play The Crucible, which of course was also a commentary upon McCarthyism. But that's by and by. So this, in some ways, the reflective nature of this with the poets, let's have a look, the writers Nathaniel Hawthorne and Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, basically considering on past events, is reminiscent of Alan Moore's own work about Jack the Ripper, which is since it starts on reflective discussion between two characters looking back. But let's have a look inside. And so we have an overview of the area in which this took place. I think this, in some ways, is a work that perhaps should be looked at by, horror writers, because it was a horrific event, horrific time, and to some extent, I would say gaming as well, since there's because the witch trials are such a strong part of American culture, and certainly New England culture, that's kind of resonated down down history and then into modern culture in terms of exploring it. In other words, you look at sort of something like The Crucible, the play by Arthur Miller, and this, but also in gaming and other stories and films. It resonates strongly in Call of Cthulhu, for example, when it comes to role-playing. And, this starts off in the modern day here with essentially almost Halloween scene. It's autumn, or I should say fall. And then switches from the colour of the now to the grey tone, black and grey tones of the past. Again, using spot colour there for effect. And then moves further forward in time to the writers straying the streets of Salem. So this is it's a mammoth work. It is it's over 500 pages in length. You know, it is. Because essentially this is going to be interested in anyone with an interest, obviously, in the witch trials, in accusations of witchcraft, and the consequences of those accusations. And in the period in which it's set. So really comes down to, we have a interesting, stronger conclusion here and a response to it, and more, which includes the own author's notes, and that's a fantastic addition that really adds detail and more information about it. And the Alan Moore book I was thinking of that this reminds me of is From Hell. And the whole thing about, I should say, the Moore weight is that when Charles Corey was condemned, essentially he was tortured and pressed, which essentially is where they just put, you know, a slab of stone on a person and then just add more and more weight until they confess. He didn't. He just said more weight. This, I think, is a fantastic looking work. I'm really looking forward to reading this, and really interesting. And it just shows you sort of like, you know, what the comics book medium can do, and we all know about what it can do. That it's not just, you know, not just about, you know, superheroes and cute animals. It can tell proper stories. It's a proper medium, and I think that, you know, this looks to be a really fantastic work. You know, and I have to say, if Alan Moore is giving his weight, putting his weight behind this, this is probably going to be a really interesting read. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, appreciate you taking the time to post those down below. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box, typically containing a role-playing game, supplement, or scenario, in this case a graphic novel, about the Salem witch trials, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.